Okay, the rule number 5 of the chapter theory of errors, I give the law like this. If we are having a equation like a is equal to b to the power of x into c to the power of y, c to the power of y. Therefore, delta means error in the value of a will be equal to power will come in the front. It will become x delta b plus y delta c. This is the rule. This is last time the missed out question. So you may not copy. Those who have already done last time, so they may not copy. They can just have a look only at it. Even also, if after error sign, we always yeah. So the rule number 2 of the power rule. This is called power rule. Power rule. Either the in between into is there or divide is there, but the power always comes in the front. I mean, it becomes x delta b plus y delta c. This way it will happen. Power will be coming in the front. That is the rule number 5. All right. So using this rule only, I had done a few problems last time. I think you understood that one. Or once again, I'll just show you. Understood this rule? Okay. Now, one example I gave last time, if the error in the radius of a circle is 1%, error in the radius is given 1%, suppose, find the error in the area of the circle. So first of all, we write down the formula of area. Let us write the formula of area. Area formula is pi r square. I'll do delta A, which error in the area we have to find. Pi is the number, in the number there will be no error. Okay, in the pure number there will be no error. Here we see power is there, so the power will come in the front, get 2 delta R. Then 2 delta R value is 1%, error in radius is 1%, multiply the answer is 2%. Finished. So error in the area will be 2%. This is example 1. Example 2 I gave like this. If error in the radius is say 1% of a sphere, if the radius in the sphere, if the error in the radius of the sphere is 1%, what is the error in its volume? What is the error in its volume? Can you do it? We'll use the formula of volume. The volume formula we have 4 pi by 3 r cube. Isn't it? So find the error in the volume. 4 pi by 3 is the number, so no error in it. This power will come here, 3 delta r. Power coming in the front. And then I'll put the value 3, delta R value is 1%, the answer will come 3%. Finished. Take it easy only, it is very easy. Yes, boys? Okay, thank you. Now, same way, I say like this, the error in the radius is 1% and error in the height of the cylinder is 2%. Error in the radius of cylinder is 1% and error in the height of the cylinder is 2%. What is the error in its volume? Volume of the cylinder. What is the error in the volume of the cylinder? So we will be writing a formula of volume of cylinder. What is the formula? Pi r square h. Now let us do the error in volume. That delta V is equal to pi will have no error. This will come 2 delta R plus delta H. Am I right? Please check. You understand no, what I am doing? Yeah. Yeah, 4%. This will be 2 into very good. You people are so nice actually. You're doing very well. 2%, becoming 4%. So simple way we will do it. And then I think you got the idea. If they say the error in the mass is 2% and error in the side of a cube. Area in the side of the cube, I take A, is 1%. What is the error in the density of the cube? What is the error in the density of the cube? The question says that. The error in the mass of the cube is 2%. The error in the side of the cube or edge of the cube is 1%. What is the error in the density of the cube? So first we write the formula of density. Density formula we have mass by volume. Then we have next density is equal to mass. Volume formula of cube formula will be A cube. Now we'll find the density, error in density. Error in density is equal to, what is the root? Delta M we write. Tell me, what should I write now? Show him, tell me. Yeah, suction. What should I write? What should be the sign? What should be the sign here in between? What is the sign? What should be the plus? Yeah, you're right. Plus 3 times of delta A. Yes. I write on the formula first. Delta M plus 3 will come in the front 3 delta A. So delta M value is 2%. 3, this is 1%. So 2% here and 3%. The total becoming 5%. Got it. Got this idea. All right. Sometimes one equation may be given as this. Suppose they have given one equation as this. A is equal to delta A is given 1%. Delta B is given 2%. Delta C is given 3%. And delta D suppose also is given 4%. And they are asking find the error. Find the error in X where X is equal to, they have given a formula A square B root C upon D cube, like this is given. Okay, let us find this is the one equation given like this, and they are asking you find the error in the value of X. So let us do it. How to find the error in the value of X? That delta X is equal to, or we will do delta X is equal to, tell me the equation, how should I write the equation now? Tell. Delta A equal to, what should I be writing? Very good, very good. Carry on, carry on. Tell me what side? Plus 2 delta B. What should I write? B power of B is 1 only, no? Why should I write 2 delta B? Only delta B. Plus what should I write? Tell me next. Root means half power, no? Half delta C. Then what should I write? Tell me the sign. Plus 3 delta D. Very good. Very good. Please share like this only. So it will be like live class only, like your all offline class. Okay, now we put the value here. 2 delta A value is how much? I put the value of 1. Delta B value is 2. All are in percentage form. Okay, half into delta C is 3. 3 delta D is 4. Let us get the answer now. 2 plus 2. 3 by 2 is 1.5. This is 12. What is the total of this? 17.5%. At last we can write percentage. Instead of writing percentage individually over here, you are free to write there also or at the end we write. This is the value of percentage error. I think this is simple only. Okay. Now please listen. One information or maybe one good news for you all is that your examination duration is 1 hour. Okay. And I will not give any question from class 10. Okay. No question from class 10. So all will be from class 11. Whatever we are doing, the simple questions will be only there. Okay. Only simple questions will be there. And then marks. Do you know in other subjects what is the full marks? For 1 hour, 50 marks, huh? Yes. So if it is 50 marks, then accordingly I'll make. Okay. So it should be easy only. But whatever we are doing, please concentrate that one very well. Okay, concentrate on that well, and from there only the question will be coming. Okay. Now we are starting new chapter today. You can add kinematics. Kinematics in 1D. 1D means one dimension. In other words, we are doing the chapter of motion of a body in a straight line. Motion of a body in a straight line. I think you have some idea of this chapter you used to do in class 9 and all the equation of motions and all the same thing we have, but little bit in details and little bit problems, like little difficult problems we will be doing here in this. Okay, I think you all know what is displacement, what is distance. Displacement is the shortest path traveled by a body in a specific direction. Distance is the total length of the path traveled by a body in a specific direction, in any direction, without any direction. Distance is scalar, displacement is vector. I think you already have this knowledge. What is the speed? The distance by time. And what is velocity? The displacement by that time in this particular direction. Velocity is vector. Speed is a scalar, that you know already. What is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity. Acceleration is generated by A, and formula of A we have change in velocity upon time. You know that the unit of acceleration is SI unit is meter per second square. You know about that also. Yes, very good. We all know that. So now we are coming to the main business here in this chapter as per your class 11 syllabus. That there are equation of motions. Okay, right? Equation of motion. Equations of motion. Number one, first equation we have V is equal to U plus AT. Second equation we have X is equal to UT plus half AT square. Third equation we have V square equal to U square plus 2A. Yes, you all know that. Very good. Share with me if you already know. And equation number 4 is this one, S is equal to Vt. This equation is used only for uniform motion. Uniform motion. S is equal to Vt, where V is velocity into time. For uniform motion, S means, so actually in this equation, do you know the meaning of the symbols? I'll tell you. U means initial velocity, V is final velocity, A is acceleration. Very good. What is S? S is actually S is distance or displacement. Actually, it is displacement, but here in this case, in a straight line path, distance and displacement will be the same because the body's direction of motion does not change. No, so the displacement value and the distance value will be the same. So we can take this as a distance or displacement. It is the same thing. This equation is used, that is, you have the formula distance is equal to velocity into time or speed into time. It's only used for uniform motion. What is the meaning of uniform motion? Tell me. The motion of a body with the same velocity is called uniform motion. In uniform motion, the value of A will be 0. Acceleration value will be 0. There will be no change in the velocity. The body will move with the same velocity in the same direction. So change value will be 0. That is, in uniform velocity, A value will come 0 because V and U are equal. So such a motion is called uniform motion. Okay, there is one more formula. This is something new formula. Please write down that one. Okay. Write down distance moved by the body in n second of time. The formula will be like this. Write down U plus half A 2n minus 1. Yeah. Who said this? Who said? Karma. Okay. You have done it already or what? You are doing somewhere else, huh? You have done it before. Oh, you have joined some coaching or what? Huh? Then, how did you do it? Okay, you watch mine, but I didn't teach now. This is the first time I'm teaching. Okay, last year. Okay. Okay, that's good. Anyway, just see. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 formula we have. Okay, here. I'll talk about, I'll be proving this formula one by one. Okay. So to prove this formula, we have got three methods. First method is analytical method. Okay. Second method is called graphical method. We'll use graph. And the third method is calculus method. All right. So you will be free to use any one of these methods to prove this. So there is no restrictions. But I suggest you to do it by analytical method without using the graphical method. Okay. So I'll prove this formula one by one. But the same formula, I'll just tell you for vertical, this is the formula for what kind of motion? Horizontal motion. When the body is moving in a straight line path in a horizontal direction. But the same formula for vertical motion like this. For vertical motion you can write here. For vertical motion means either upward vertically or downward. It can be any. So the formula will be slightly modified. How to modify this formula? We'll write V is equal to U plus, instead of A, I will write GT. This becomes the formula. V is equal to U plus GT. There the acceleration due to gravity will come. We will write V is equal to U plus GT, the first formula, this one. Second formula, how can I modify it? Can you tell me how can I modify it? X will become H. H means this kind of distance and H means height. Either going vertically high or down, height. And I said H is equal to, the formula will change over, we like UT plus half GT squared. A will become G. S become H, no, height. Third formula, how can we modify and write it here? We'll be writing a V squared is equal to U squared plus 2GH. Okay, three formula. Fourth formula does not exist here. Can anybody tell me the reason why the formula number 4 is not possible there? Yeah, Upamanyu? Because it will not be uniform. Acceleration of gravity, G value cannot be 0. In case of this kind of motion, horizontal motion, the value of A can be 0 because the body may move with the same velocity. But in the vertical motion, as the body goes, the velocity keeps on changing, keeps on rather decreasing. And when the body goes down, then the velocity value keeps on increasing. The velocity is never constant. That means the motion is never uniform. Vertical motion is never uniform. That's why the formula number 4 is not possible there or does not exist. Somebody said that is a good reason. Okay. Formula number 5 will exist here also. Formula number 4, now this will come here now. Highlighted this height moved by the body in any second of time, the formula will be here. Half G2n minus 1. This formula will exist. The same formula will be modified for vertical motions. There. And another thing to be noted for vertical motion is that when the body moves up, it goes against gravity, that is, there will be retardation. So G value we will be taking with the negative sign. The value of G normally we take 9.8 or 10. Whatever is mentioned in the question. If not mentioned, you take 10. But the sign of going while going up, the sign will be negative, and when the body is falling down, the sign of G will be positive. That you must keep in mind. And when the body goes up, at the time when it reaches the maximum height, final velocity becomes 0. Because the speed is slowing down, the speed is becoming less and less and less. It stops here for a while, then return back. That time final velocity v will be 0 at the time of reaching the maximum height. And on the other hand, when the body is falling down freely, yes, nth second of time, nth second of time, nth. Height covered by the body in nth second of time, nth second of time. About that I'll discuss later. When I'll be proving it now, then you will understand in a better way. Just now you write it down. When I'll be proving each of the formula, then you will get a better idea. Have you noted down the formulas and you understood now the situation? When the body starts from the rest, U value will be 0. When the body comes to rest after some time of the motion, which after applying brakes and all, the final velocity becomes 0. Yes or no? Okay? Say boys, is it all right? Now we will be proving the formula number 1. Okay, let us prove it. You may get a question of proving also. Proving type question may come anytime. Or even in ISC it will come, derive. Question will come, derive the formula V is equal to U plus AT. So method will not be mentioned, derived graphically or by calculus method or by analytical method will not be mentioned. So you are at liberty to use any one of these methods. So to prove this formula, we'll be doing like this. Proof of this formula, okay. This formula is proved using the definition of acceleration. That is, since A is equal to delta V by T. Delta V means change in velocity upon the time. We write A, delta V means we write V minus U by T. Final velocity minus initial velocity upon the time. If we do cross multiply, V minus U will be equal to AT. Therefore, V value will become U plus AT. So proved. Very simple. This proof is very simple. Check if you have not understood any particular steps, you can ask for it to clarify. Or if it is all right, then say at least yes. Okay. Yeah. There was network problem, so anyways, it has come back. All right. Tell me if. Hello. Yeah. Any doubts? Any clarification? Okay. Thank you. Now we are proving this formula number 2. Second formula. We'll prove the formula number 2. What is that formula? S is equal to ut plus half at square. Let us prove it. So to prove this formula, we let S is equal to, S means the displacement. Displacement is equal to, here we write average velocity into time. Average velocity into time. S means the distance is equal to velocity into time, but what kind of velocity? Average velocity into the time. That S average velocity formula will add U plus V divided by 2, and time will denote by T. So next line we write S. Okay, the formula which we are going to prove does not contain V. Is V coming there anywhere? Just look at this. Is V coming anywhere? No. We'll put the value of V. We'll eliminate V. We'll replace V. Other thing I'll just copy, right? U plus V value will add U plus AT from the formula number 1, right? 2 into T. You can make a note, since V is equal to U plus AT. Just now I proved it. V is equal to U plus AT. I'm substituting the value of V from the first formula. And now let us work this out. You get S, U plus U become 2U plus AT by 2 into T. I'll separate it. You write 2U by 2 Here you get 80 by 2 into t outside 2 cancels. You get h is equal to u plus 1 by 2 80 we write here into t. Let us open bracket. You get ut plus half at square. So this becomes a formula. This is how we derive this formula. Is it all right? Please check and let me know if you have got any difficulty in understanding any steps. Clear, okay. Thank you. Now I'll prove the formula number 3. Formula number 3. What is that formula? V square is equal to u square plus 2as. Let us prove it. So how to prove our starting steps or initial steps will be the same. First we write S formula only. S is equal to this, then S is equal to this. Till this equation we have to do in both the cases. And from here I change the format. Till here it is the same. Same we will do till here. And after that we will change our strategy. Write S here. So in the formula which we want to prove, what does not come? I don't see t coming anywhere. Yeah. I'll put the value of time there and rest of the thing I'll keep as it is. That means here you can write u plus v by 2 as it is. What can I write for time? We know the formula. Acceleration formula is rate of change of velocity. Therefore, time value will become v minus u by a. Instead of time, I write this v minus u divided by a. Time value is substitute. A is equal to change of velocity upon time. Therefore, time will be v minus u upon a. Let us do cross multiply like this. They become 2as. I'll multiply this one v minus u and v plus u. V square minus u square using that formula a square minus v square formula. Now u square you bring this side, become u square plus 2as is equal to v square. Therefore v square value become u square plus 2as. This becomes the formula. So proving formula number 2 and formula number 3, the method of proving is the same. Only we have to change the plan after this step. The formula number 2, we did not want v to come. That's why I put the value of v. And in this equation, we did not want t to come. That's why I am putting the value of t. And I am getting the formula derived. Clear? So next formula, I will show in the next class tomorrow. Okay. Today we are doing this much. Tomorrow we'll do little bit formula and then I'll talk about the graph and then we do problems. The chapter is also short, will be over. And after that I will start vectors. Vector is something new to you, so there you have to understand it well. Okay. So can I close? Okay, thank you.